Good evening, folks, and welcome again to the Toon Review for tonight's transfer show, where me and Alex are looking ahead once again to the summer of 2025, having a look at some players that have been linked with the club. Now, again, we're not saying they're signing at all. We're not saying that they're going to put pen to paper. We are just looking at some of the players that have been linked in the press and having a look at the stats and seeing what they could bring to Newcastle should they ever sign for the football club, of course. So again, we're not saying that any of these are going to sign. It is just looking ahead to the summer, seeing what's out there, seeing who's been linked, and go from there. Now, of course, we have looked at various positions over the last couple of transfer shows. Tonight, we look at strikers, and that should pluck the ears up of everybody, because it's always exciting when we do strikers, because they're the ones that smash the goals in and things like that, and it's always good to have. So it is strikers tonight. Some of you may not be happy with some of them that have been linked, but I'm sure we'll find that out in the chat as it goes along. How is Stato this evening?
Stato as well. How is Paul?
Paul is fine. Paul is aching.
Most importantly, how is chat and how are all the massive magpies in Viewerland?
Yeah. The massive magpies.
We're calling them massive magpies.
Massive out there in Viewerland, of course. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. Yeah, just washed the car this afternoon. It's going in for service tomorrow, so I just thought I'd best give it a clean. Got one of them Karcher washings, power washers. They're very good, Alex. Very good for washing cars. But never mind. I digress. Indeed. Paul World says, got to change your logo, Paul, to make those magpies larger. No, is the answer to that. The magpie, this is still the old logo on the background. But the logo is staying as it is now. But thank you for the feedback. But 98% of people that have commented on the new logo have really liked it. So it is staying. That is what is going on the new merch when we start rolling that out as well. Now, Alex, just before we get into it, actually, I better read this super chat now. Aaron Taylor, note to Ramsdale, dude gets distracted by pigeons. We'll come on to that. And Sure has been a member for 8 months now. For the first time in months, I finally have time to listen to this live, and therefore at normal speed, not my usual 1.75. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Aaron Ramsdale is linked with us today, Alex. Well, listen, they reckon he'd be available for £25 million. I wouldn't pay anywhere near that much for him. Another relegation for Aaron Ramsdale on his CV. And he hasn't even been able to hold down a place at Southampton.
I don't think this topic's even worthy of a conversation. It's a hard no. Next. Not even an appropriate link. Never mind signing.
I fully agree with you, Alex. So yeah, we're not even going to discuss.
While he was still at Arsenal, there was a conversation. Not anymore. That ship has sailed.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, please do subscribe if you are new to the channel, of course. We've lost a couple today for some strange reason. We're at 37,004 subscribers. I'd like to get a little bit away from the 37,000, a little bit higher. So if you are new, please do subscribe. And of course, give it a like if you enjoyed today's show. Super chats are available. $sign at the bottom of the live comments. We'll guarantee your comment to be read out. And of course, memberships are available, and it's the join button just underneath me and Alex. We may have some prizes to give out on TTR Friday this week, so make sure you tune in. And of course, thank you to Mamaroo Records for sponsoring the channel, based in Whitley Bay, for all your music needs, for your vinyl, your CDs, merchandise. They've got a bit of sport merch in there as well as gift cards. Brilliant shop. I was in there the other day. It's fantastic. Go and say hello to Steve. Tell him you're a TTR viewer, and he'll do you a really good deal as well. And if you can't get into the store, they are online. That is pinned at the top of the description. Right. Here we go. The first player of the evening. Maybe a little bit controversial, but that's what we like on this channel. So the first player, ladies and gentlemen, is Hugo Ekitaki.
Yeah, the promised
very enthusiastic from you there, Alex.
The prince that was promised.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited about this one. So we'll take it steady. We're waiting for all of the slow punters to walk through the door. Everybody's slowly dropping in. But yes, we have been linked with Ekitike again.
Yes, we have.
He's done rather well since he's managed to get away from that horrible Parisian city club.
Yeah, I would like to say, Alex, he has been linked with various other Premier League clubs as well. Not just Newcastle United, of course.
He has indeed. But there may potentially be a situation for us in the summer where Callum Wilson isn't in the squad anymore. There is certainly a possibility that that's a thing. And as well, we are down a man on the right wing as well, because Jacob Murphy's on his own. So there is definitely the potential to bring in a competent attacking player, whether it's a right wing or a striker, or wide forward, a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So that there are options. This is somebody that we've had direct contact with before. For people who are not in on this story, obviously he very nearly signed for us from Stade Rennes a few years ago. It was pretty much a done deal as far as we were concerned. It was all a little bit. He was a lot of. He was posting on Snapchat him wandering around his city, his hometown, that he'd never really left. Apart from, I think he had a little loan in Denmark when he was young. So he was a homesickness. He was he's French, thick and through and through, not thick and thin, same thing. And then he got his head turned by PSG, who came in and essentially hijacked that deal. There was a lot of controversy about his agent at the time as well. Obviously, just wanting his dollars and just being a bit of an idiot.
We have to say as well, though, Alex, at that time, we did say when PSG came in, being a young French kid growing up in France, your dream is always to play for Paris Saint-Germain, who are the big boys in France. So,
well, not historically. Recently, yes.
Well, he did say that. No, he did say that.
Of course, he does. Yeah, because he was a baby. So yeah, when he was a teenager, it was PSG. But obviously, if you go back further than that, it was Monaco, it was Lyon, it was Saint-Etienne, it was Marseille.
Yeah, but what I mean is, since PSG became the big boys in France, obviously, there was
Montpellier as well won the league.
Absolutely.
It wasn't PSG. It has been more recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, his agent, I think he got his head turned. And of course, he's French. He got asked to play for the best team in France at the time, who had Mbappe for him to try and emulate, and they still had Messi at that point. Let's not forget that. So when you
Neymar was still there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. So I mean, he wanted to go and play and learn from the front three and try and break through, because Neymar was getting a bit older, Messi was getting a bit older, so maybe he thought it was a good pathway for him. I'm not going to blame him based on that, personally. So who is Ekitike now? Well, he's 22 now. He's going to be 23, and I think it's June. It does say it there. And he currently plays for Eintracht Frankfurt in Germany. Plays for the Germans. So he has managed to finally get himself out of France and avoid that little, I don't want to leave France. He's gone. His contract there is until June 2029. So it's quite a hefty contract. However, he has got 13 goals and 4 assists this season for them in the Bundesliga. That being said, he's running awfully cold. He's got 18.5 XG. So the numbers suggest he should have had considerably more goals than he scored. He's obviously played against some cracking goalkeepers who have had good games, or just things haven't quite worked. People putting in really good blocks So he's been shortchanged a little bit there. You'd think even at a push he should be on 16, 17 goals, and he's not. He's only on 13. So he's been done the dirty. But he has scored considerably more across all competitions, which we will show you. 3 in the Europa League, 3 assists as well. So he's putting up really good, consistent numbers in all competitions. And he's doing fine in a different league in a different country. This might pique your interest somewhat, everyone.
I mean, that's
there's a lot of green on that.
Yeah. And given that this is the Bundesliga as well, which is a very, very good league. Very good league.
Well, this is based on 3,000 minutes. So this is not flash in the pan data. No. This is who he is. And he's good. Progressive carries is really nice. 91st percentile. You've got successful take-ons. He's in the top 3% in Europe for successful take-ons in his position. He's got a shot total of just shy of 4 shots per game. Top 5%. Elite numbers he's putting up. Really, really top numbers. And considerably better defensive metrics than even we get from our strikers. And just to prove a point, if we scroll across to the lovely little pie graph, let's go and pop our Swedish maestro in there, shall we? And see what happens. There is blue is Ekitike, red is Alexander Isak. As you can see, there's not a massive difference in the key data.
I think that's as similar as we've ever seen on key data, Alex, to be fair, when we've compared players. They are, that's as close as we've ever seen, to be fair.
But Ekitike is 6'2.5", Isak 6'3". They've both got the lanky legs, dribbly boys, good finishers. They've got a lot of very similar traits, very similar physically as well. He was always good at those drive and runs when we were scouting him back in the day, sort of 3 years ago. And he shows it here. If anything, the blue down here, percentage of aerials won is considerably higher, and tackles and interceptions. These are two things that we actually critique Isak on as a fan base. He's elite, but imagine if he could win more headers and get stuck in a bit more in tackles.
He doesn't really challenge for them, though, does he? I mean, if we look at Isak, Alex, during sort of goal kicks, for instance, he doesn't seem to, challenge for them anyway, which is what we've mentioned in the past. He's not a header. He's not a big bulky forward who's going to win headers and flick-ons and things like that. He's not that kind of player, is he?
So I don't know if I've persuaded anybody yet, but for anybody who was on the fence, he's putting up some outrageous data, and he's really good to watch as well. He's fantastic. He's resourceful. He's skillful. He'll play himself out of a bad situation with flicks and tricks and innovation. He's got really good instinctive. He's a baller. He's just an absolute baller. And if we go and have a look at similar players to Ekitike, look at the list. So this is based on, I believe they pull it from the main data set of like shots, tackle data, just general bits and bobs on that main screen. This is what you got here. Omar Mamouche, who is a fantastic player. Isak second. Mikhail Tadze, the Georgian who went to Lyon. Nicholas Jackson, who profiles very similar to Isak in style. Vinicius Junior is on here.
I mean, that's some list, ridiculous. Isn't it? That's a ridiculous list.
I mean,
do you think, Alex, Ekitike has got his, I don't know, matured? Is he, when we were interested the first time, he was still very, very young, but he's took a chance and gone to Frankfurt, hasn't he? And he's done very well. He's gone there. He's earned his corn, if you like, for another big move. I just wonder if he's a man now. If he's matured. Yeah.
He certainly is. He's now a man, in my opinion. He's got the physicality. He's flown the nest. I think he's ready. I think it's going to be difficult to get him out of Frankfurt. To be honest, nobody's got any God-given right to take them out of Frankfurt. They're a big club. In Germany, it's probably great for his development. He's enjoying his football there. However, I think he's a good talent. There's not a lot of players like him around at the moment, and he's really, really impressive.
I don't think Alex Frankfurt would turn down the money that they can get for him. I think that would be an extortionate amount of money that they might get for Ekitike. That they might need. Know. I just think they've got an opportunity to make some
France
money.
Yet.
No, he's not.
It's a bit early. Five caps and 5 goals for the U21s. That being said, I will show you some data in a moment. The France U21s played against the England U21s literally like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He scored a hat-trick. Absolutely destroyed us. Like, just ridiculous. So here's his transfer market data. Current market value at 55 million euros based on loads of things that this website seems to think is relevant. But that's not a dig at Transfermarkt, but they rate it. They've got their own metrics. So we already know contracted until June the 30th, 2029. You would imagine he's going to declare for France. he's not officially capped at senior level yet, so he could still play for Cameroon if it goes wrong. But it looks like he looks like a proper French player.
I've just put a poll up as well, Alex. I've just put a poll up for the viewers. So that's what we'll do tonight. You know, whether you're interested or not. The poll is basically Ekitike, yes or no. That poll is up now. We'll keep that open for 5-10 minutes or so, and we'll do that with the other players that were on tonight. Would you like to see them at Newcastle? Yes or no? So the poll is up there now. Sorry, Alex, carry on, mate.
Well, 16.5 million euros they ended up paying PSG for him. They got that was a bargain. Absolute bargain. I did state that at the time when he left PSG. I'm surprised there weren't more suitors for him because you knew there was a player there. He's just been rotting on the bench for a little bit. And just to kind of show you, so this is his data for the whole season so far. We scroll down. So 19 goals and 8 assists in all competitions in 2024. I think that is that's just at club level. So that does not include his international goals as well, of which there are quite a few. If you would like to see him in action, he is playing Spurs tomorrow night in the Europa League.
Yes,
so
indeed.
There is, and it's conveniently exactly when we finish our show tomorrow. So come back tomorrow and watch
I was just about to say that.
And then go watch this.
7 to 8 with us, and then watch Ekitike if you're interested as he takes on Tottenham.
So in here, a 4-1 loss against Bayer Leverkusen. Ekitike gets the goal in a 7.7. You've got a solid performance and a win against Ajax. You've got a goal and an assist against Ajax, an assist against Bochum. You've got a hat trick in the...
You don't see a rating like that, Alex. 7.7 in a 4-1 defeat. That there's a lot for me.
Well, actually, let's click on it there. Just to show you what he did in this game then. There he is. So in this game, despite them losing 4-1, he had 5 shots at goal. 5 shots at goal, completed 2 dribbles, 2 accurate long balls, struggled physically, but clearly was trying. So he's done his job as a striker to try his best. He's not managed to get the goal, but he's... Oh, he did. Yeah, of course he did get a goal. What am I saying? I'm chatting absolute nonsense. So as his job, he scored a goal in a game. He's peppered the goal. He's done as much as he could, really. The defense and everybody else needs to not concede 4, ideally. So this is the game against England. So man of the match, obviously, was him. And if we go and have a look at his rating for that game, we just need to scroll across. Here it is. So he got 3 goals, 4 shots on target. That's mental. 3 goals from 4 shots. He's so efficient.
And he was only on the pitch 66 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, he got subbed off as well.
Dear
Absolutely bananas. And bearing in mind, this was not a scrub England team at all. It was Harvey Elliott. You've got Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson in that midfield.
Liam Delap as well.
Liam Delap. Hardwood Bellis. I don't know why Alex Scott's playing as a right back. I think Carson's lost his mind.
Rico Lewis was playing as well. Yeah.
It's still not a bad. It's not a bad 11, right? There's a lot of senior footballers in there for good sides in the Premier League. And they got annihilated, absolutely annihilated. What else have we got? There was another one I wanted to show you guys, and I can't remember which one it was. Was it this one? No. I was scrolling through. I think there was a game I found where he didn't score, and he got some bananas rate. Oh, there you go. Look at this. Against Hoffenheim in January, he got a 9.8. What do you have to do to get a 9.8? Like, it's mental. The lineups,
where is he? You have to be bloody good on the ratings we've seen in the past.
There you go. So this was his 9.8. So his heat map is everywhere. That's his shot map, basically all inside the box. So that's a lot of shots, by the way. That is 8 shots in a game, 6 on target. That's bonkers. Absolutely bananas, that is. And that's against Hoffenheim, who are no slouches at all. 2 goals, 2.22 XG as well.
That's mental.
Good physically. Just the output is just ridiculous. The kid's so efficient. And again, it's not a bad Hoffenheim team. With Stack in midfield is reasonably decent. The back four is it's not as strong as it used to be for Hoffenheim, but they're still a reasonable side. Just he's putting up some absolutely bananas numbers. I think he plays brilliantly. We'll have a look at the injury record just to make sure people are happy that we've at least checked it. It's fine.
In a ligament stretch of the knee, yeah.
It's 10 days.
The hamstring in 2022 was a big one, but that really stayed fit.
He's been pretty fit most of the time. He had a knock for 5 days. He's been fine. He's played a lot of matches. So, in my opinion, guys, I know a lot of people have been rubbed up the wrong way by the whole ordeal when he didn't join us. I think it's time to bring him home.
Yeah, I think it's water under the bridge, Alex, to be honest. I think when you've seen all the stats there and you see what he could actually bring. And to be fair, he stayed out of the news for the wrong reasons since he's got his head down in Frankfurt and just played football. You don't hear any negative stories about him or anything like that. It was mainly to do with his agent back then. I don't know if he's still got the same one, Alex.
He was a wet wipe.
But he seems to have completely matured over the couple of years that he's gone out there to Germany and done really well.
It doesn't even say.
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, but
I wonder why.
I mean, price-wise, 55 million on there.
Price-wise, he's going to be a lot because he's quite a unique profile, and there's not a lot of players around Europe that play like him. And there's a lot of clubs want a striker like Alexander Isak, and this kid is a reasonable alternative for half the price. It's a tricky one. I would really like him. I don't think we're going to go for him.
No, because I
think there's possibly better options, but
but he'd be playing.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think where our squad is at the moment, I think recruitment-wise, there are more sensible things for us to go for positionally and role. I just kind of like it narratively. It'd be a lovely signing. I think it'd be a bit greedy. It would be a bit Chelsea-esque to make a signing like this because I don't think it's what we absolutely need right now.
Well, Todd Bowley's in the chat, so there is a chance.
Todd, hands off. You've got like 7 strikers.
Yeah. David Noble, been with us for 17 months on the channel. Happy to catch a transfer show while at work. I rate Hugo. I just don't think he would join us. I don't have a reason. It's just my opinion. Well, neither does
a lot's happened since then. You've got to remember we absolutely pasted PSG in the Champions League while he was still on their books, which was quite funny.
Yeah. Susan Fagan says the same thing. Looks amazing, but will he want to be our second striker? By the way, Susan's now a member again, just to let everybody know.
You say that. I think this kid comes in with an objective of challenging Alexander Isak. There are not many players in around that you can get who are not going to just be second fiddle. But this guy's got the potential output and ability to try and challenge him. You know, if Alexander Isak sits out for 2 weeks with a bit of a niggle and Ekitike comes into the side and does really well and scores, Isak's not getting back in the side until Ekitike has a problem. It would be one of those situations, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think that's what the elite teams have to deal with. You know what I mean? When with the players they have. Chris at Evermore says Chelsea will sell their food van to themselves for 100 million and buy him on an 8-year deal. Yes, I can't disagree with that at all. Right, let's see what you guys have thought of Ekitike. Wow. We just basically said Ekitike, would you take him? Yes or no? Yes, 72%, Alex.
I'd be interested to see what that percentage would be if we did a vote at the start and a vote at the end, because obviously there might be people who change their mind over the course of the discussion. So that's still quite high considering you put the poll up early. There's a lot of people clearly still quite interested.
Well, you know what? I'd say yes to him. I think he's, like I say, he's gone to Frankfurt. He's put his head down. He's playing really well. The stats back that up as well. It's not just, it's not just hearsay that he's playing well. You can see from the stats that he's doing well. That 9.8 was sensational. He's had a 9.4. And to get vote, we know that the play ratings on there are very, very strict as well. And very, very often don't really give the correct play ratings as to how well he's done. But that is incredible.
See, we got Foxy back, who only appears during transfer shows. It's like he just pops
nice
out.
To
he
see
knows
you,
they're
Foxy.
on.
No, where have you been, man?
Long time no see. I mean, Foxy's not wrong here that Frankfurt are going to make a bucket load of money. That they absolutely will.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
what
time
I said.
to buy him was when he was available before. Agreed. However, is there a question of, are we getting to that point in our journey where it's okay to pull the trigger when they are more expensive sometimes?
Yeah.
You know, if we're going to make a bunch of signings this summer, are all of them going to be budget and creative, or is at least one of them going to be a slightly more high profile with a bigger price tag? Possibly.
Yeah. Kath, good evening. Kath says to not even consider him when we were first in the Premier League to spot him wouldn't be wise, even if we decide no. Alex says only if the money was right would I take Ekitike, but I still voted no on the poll. Well, you know what?
I don't think the money will be right. I think the money's going to be.
I think he's going to be
high.
Yeah. Especially Alex, for me, like we've just said there, if we're bringing him in and Isak's still there, I think that's to pay that kind of money. I don't see that happening. You know, there is other players on the pitch that we will spend that kind of money on. But you know, it's just too much.
As a priority, let's remember while we're doing these transfer shows, we have a bit more direction with the squad now. We know where we need to recruit within reason. We know that we need a right winger. We know that we need a centre half. So that's 2, I think, guaranteed ins in the window.
Yeah.
Possibly a striker to replace Callum Wilson, and possibly a goalkeeper in somebody like Trafford, because we've got a lot of old goalkeepers. So that's 4. So we've got a much better understanding of what we're likely to bring in. It's just a case of, how do we spread the money? Is it going to be a few £15 million gems and a big player? Is it going to be, where's it going to be? Are they going to be Premier League? Are they going to be from, maybe there's going to be some unknown that, you know, we might sign 1 or 2 that we've not even discussed at all on this channel. They could be complete unknown quantities, or just out of the media view, really. So, but that's why we do these shows, so we can try and figure it out together.
Westy says he's a poser. That's why he went to PSG, and he'd probably end up at Arsenal. I don't think he'd last under Eddie.
No, that's really harsh. That's really harsh. Paris is the capital of France, and he wanted to go and play with Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar. He's a young French kid. Like, we don't know what that's like. Like, I think that's hard just saying he's a poser.
Alex, he may well have learned from the likes of Messi and that, and took it into his Frankfurt
potentially,
performances. You know, so
but I think that is really, really harsh. You know, look at Wayne Rooney. Nobody goes, "Oh, he was a poser because he went to Man United." Well, yeah, he got, at the time, it was the biggest club in England when he went from Everton, and he won everything with them. We don't call him a poser.
Well, I don't think you could cause Wayne Rooney is not a poser.
He does sleep with a hairdryer though, so
yes, yeah.
Sorry, not that
he,
you're
slept
watching.
He slept with other things as well. Anyway, now we'll move on to one player that we've been calling for a long time, and was finally linked with Newcastle United.
We need a drum roll for this one because Paul's getting very excited.
Listen, I mean, Sam will be on the edge of her seat right now watching. It is, of course, Takefusa Kubo. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, after all this time, Kubo has been linked with Newcastle United, which enables us on the transfer show to look at just how good this guy is. But Alex said to me, I will warn you guys, before the start of the show, Alex said I won't like what he's going to say. So I have no idea how Alex is going to address this player or not. I don't know. We shall see. But take it away, Alex. Let's have a look at Mr. Kubo. By the way, Todd Bowley's a big fan of him as well, Alex, just to let you know.
I can see that. I do. Well, it is a requirement that you state where he was born, I'm afraid.
Kawasaki, she.
So
what the hell is Kawasaki, she?
I don't know what the she bit is on the end. I'm not sure.
Just call it Kawasaki and be done with it, man. Dear God.
I wonder if that's where the actual bikes are from, or where they were originally produced. Maybe.
Hey,
I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. Do we have like a motorbike version of Tom? Is anybody like into bikes?
Maybe. Is Kawasaki from Kawasaki in Japan?
Anyway, guys, right. So let's try not to burst too many bubbles. Attacking player who's played.
It's not me you want to worry about, Alex. It's when Sam's back on
there's a
Friday
lot.
night.
Sam, there's a lot of people do like him.
If you dress him down,
Sam will verbally let me punish you. Then. I promise you, we will cover all aspects.
I'm just warning you, mate. As a friend, I'm just warning you. You know what she's like.
I will be fair. So he is 23 years old now. He's going to be 24 in June. Left-footed. Does play on the right, typically. Has played as a right-sided forward as well.
Yep.
Next to Alexander Isak at Real Sociedad. That was when David Silva was still playing, and he was the sneaky little 10 in behind those two. So Kubo has played as a sort of, not the main guy, but one of the guys up front, kind of. It was a bit of a strange system, but it was really interesting to watch. So he's played with Isak before. Yep. He's got good experience. This guy's played for Tokyo, for FC Tokyo. I don't know why I'm saying it in that accent. It's not Japanese. And then Real Madrid decided to swoop down and buy the Japanese Messi, I think was what everybody was banding him as back then. Because he's 5'7". I think Messi's 5'6". Right wing, left footed, low center of gravity.
Old, to be fair, doesn't he? I mean, even on the
I think that's quite an old picture, to be fair to him. That is quite.
Do you know what it is, though, mate? When I was doing the thumbnail earlier on, and I was scrolling through pictures to put on of Kubo, that's exactly what I thought. You know, the amount of photos, and I'm thinking, I can't find a one. I mean, I think the one I've actually got on tonight's thumbnail is a very recent one, and it just looks. He looks like a child, but he's a magician with his feet.
Yeah, so he's low center of gravity, trickster. He's one of these players that feels like he's got a little bit of super glue on his foot, or the ball is attached to his foot with a little piece of string, so it never goes too far away. He's got very good control, very low center of gravity. He's also quite a warrior as well. He won't give up on a lost cause. If he's got two people battling with him, it normally just him and the ball just pops out and then he carries on going. It's quite amusing. Anyway, his contributions this season, 1,700 minutes, 1,800 minutes, 28 appearances. So it's not full starts. 5 goals, 0 assists from an XG of 3.1. So he's running a little bit hot based on his XG. Should be a little bit lower than the 5 goals in all honesty. However, does have 2 goals and 2 assists in the Europa League from 700 minutes. So that's better. Still running hot, though, with the data. So I guess a good player when he takes his chance. Chance is. Contracted until 2029, though. So it is another long contract we would have to contest. However, the wages, we would obviously be able to do better than that. If we scroll down, we have some quite interesting data. It's a bit muddied because he profiles as a midfielder and as an attacking mid/winger. And the problem is with this data set is this includes people like who play in sort of Tonali's position and people who play in like an Anthony Gordon position.
Yeah, it's all across
the
midfield,
data,
isn't it? Yeah.
They play so differently that the data is going to read really strange. So I'd take a lot of this with a pinch of salt. I'd probably advise looking more at the actual numbers themselves than the percentiles and green bits. So progressive carries and passes. So 5.6 progressive carries is a healthy number. It's a really, really, really good number. Well, healthy is a bit of an understatement. It's a fantastic number. Even if we swap it to a winger, it is still in the 91st percentile. So whichever way we spin that, it's really good. So ball progression is fantastic. Successful take-ons is very high as well, whether we profile him as a midfielder or an attacking midfielder/winger. So again, it's everything we've been describing so far. He's a wonderful carrier of the football. Shot creating actions is really high. Playmaking, 4.51 shot creating actions per 90. That is as a wide player or an attacking midfielder. As a standard midfielder, that shoots up to the 96th percentile. So again, even if you spin it both ways, still you can see where his strengths are. His defensive data is also very impressive. Very high work rate, high amounts of tackles, blocks, reasonable in interceptions as well. If we drop it to a midfielder, that probably drops off, though. Yeah, it does. But he is more of a wide player. He's not a midfielder. He's not going to be playing where Sean plays, for example. He's definitely going to be much further up. So there's nothing to worry about there.
There's your answer to the Kawasaki bikes, buddy. They're made in Akashi in Japan, but a lot of manufacturing is done in Indonesia and the USA. But Steve rides a Honda, so he doesn't care. The poll is up again. We have Kubo, yes or no. Get voting in the chat, guys. And we'll visit that in around 10 minutes or so.
So who he profiles like, again, he's got a weird data set because he's being mixed into two positions. When you categorize him as a midfielder, he profiles like Phil Foden, Alex Baena, Simeone, which, yes, that is actually Simeone's son, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
You've got Julian Brandt as well, who we are a fantastic. We're all big admirers of the German wizard on this channel. He's a freak in a good way. Odegaard's on this list as well. Odegaard. If we swap it to attacking mids and / wingers, you get some high work rate players in here. You get a fellow Japanese player at Rem in Ito. You get Kulusevski in there as well. Mateo Sula, who we've been linked with before. Ludovic Blas, who's profiled very well in recent years and have popped up on a lot of the lists. Mitoma and Mavadidi are on the list as well. So you can kind of see the vibes, whether you spin him as a midfielder or an attacking player / winger. Let's go to his transfer. Or actually, no. Let's show him up a little bit. Here's his data for the last few seasons. So we're looking at the right hand side where the cursor is over here, guys. So he came from Tokyo, went to Real Madrid. He's not got a line entry for Real Madrid on here, possibly because he didn't really play. I don't even know if he played. Can't remember. So we've just got data on the Spanish clubs he went out on loan to, which was lots of them. He's done the runaround. Mallorca, Villarreal, Getafe, Mallorca again. And then he went to Real Sociedad when they decided to buy him. So 9 goals, 4 assists, 7 goals, 4 assists, and 5 goals so far this season, which is good. It's 13 goal contributions. It's solid. It's solid. I just think he's going to cost a lot of money. Do we want better than that? Do we think we could? I mean, what is the output of a wide forward or a winger, Paul? If we want to challenge, if we want to take that next step, what's the goal output for this?
Well, if you're looking at Murphy and we want better than that, you're asking a hell of a lot, aren't you? If you look at the output from Murphy this season.
Well, if you look at the output of Anthony Gordon as well, generally, it tends to be quite high. Harvey Barnes' numbers are really good for his minutes. So I think our expectations are starting to shift in terms of what we'd like from a player. It is quite a high, it's quite nasty of me to suggest that this isn't good enough because I'm sure, but again, you've got
to think as well, the opposition he's against. I mean, Real Sociedad, they are a reasonably big side in Spain, but they're not,
Yeah. Well, he's playing European football as well. They typically do qualify for at least some competition in Europe, generally Europa League or Conference League. Yeah. But again, it's from 29 starts, 24 starts, and 19 starts so far this season. So he's not starting all the time. I don't know if that is injury, if it's rotation. We will have a look. So let's go and have a look at his transfer marked. So 42 caps for Japan as a 23-year-old. He's pretty impressive.
That's bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers.
So he's got quite a lot of experience. There you go. He looks a bit older in that picture. He looks like a man there. Okay. So if we go and have a look, we have a player agent, Roberto Tucada. I don't know who this is, by the way. So we're learning together.
I would say he's an Italian-Japanese man.
I mean, yeah, Roberto's not much of a Japanese first name, is it? He represents, funnily enough, mostly Japanese players. You've got Daichi Kamada on here, who went to Palace. A lot of people who do play in the Japanese league. I am ashamed to say I actually recognize some of these names because I did a Hiroshima save on Football Manager. Because
I recognize Kuryu Matsuka. Matsuki, is it?
Well, he's gone. Sorry. Market value. It's fluctuated. Obviously, his stock hit a massive high at 60 mil at age 22. It has since dropped a little bit. It'd be interesting to see what bids would be like if people did really want to go for him. But again, he's got a big contract. He's very highly rated. He's coming up to this kind of age profile now where he's not a kid. He's coming up to that 24, 25 mark where he's going to start hitting some bigger numbers, you would hope. So we're getting close to the time for him now, whether it's now, next season, 2 seasons, that's going to be the ballpark of, but he's playing for a big club in Spain. They're doing very, very well. If we have a look at his transfer market, I mean, he is nothing if not consistent. I mean, that's pretty lovely. That is. You've got SofaScore crediting him with high pressing and playmaking as key strengths. They say 41 mil as well. Let's drop that down a bit, shall we?
I think that's the thing with Kubo for me, Alex. Is if we were to go for him, it has to be for the right price. I mean, we can't get.
Let's go
the fact that he's a difficult one, really, to try and put a price on, because he's obviously, when his stock was 60 million quid, that says something to me that, and still, I mean, 40 million quid, his stock's still very, very high, and he's a very, very good player. I mean, question is, could he handle the Premier League?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, we've got some comments. I mean, Martin's comment with the Akliouche recommendation there, 6 goals and 8 assists. Of course, the young Frenchman that we've reviewed before. Everybody knows I'm a really, really big fan of Nicolas Toon, the guy at Celtic.
Yeah,
there are a lot of options out there. Unlike the Ekitike review, Ekitike is quite a unique profile. The right wing profile, there's quite a lot of interesting picks. And as fantastic as Kubot is, I'm not sure he's the best value for money or the best pick for us as a team. As much as we do like Kubot, I mean, look, a 4-4 draw against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey it wouldn't have been 4-4. Somebody would have won that, whoever it was.
Is it not Madrid with that little arrow above the 4, Alex?
Is that how that works? Maybe it was Madrid.
Maybe.
He did get an assist in that game in a 4-4. He's contributed. World Championship for the AFC. Scored an assist against Bahrain.
Isn't it? Yep.
They got pumped by Man United, which is quite embarrassing. But then they did. I think
I was waiting for that.
I mean, who loses to the 13th best team in England at the moment?
Well, yeah.
Hopefully not us this weekend. I've got to be careful how far I push this in case we slip up.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back a page. Anything recently? Maybe he's putting up good performances. He's just not been very prolific this season. He scored in the Europa League. Scored against Leganes as well. It's okay. I do like him as a player. I think he's a fantastic player. For people who have never seen Kubo play football, after the show, have a little look. YouTube his name. He plays pretty football. He's a proper dribbler. You can see why there were Messi comparisons when he was young. Yeah. But I don't think this is the right signing for the club. I think it would be a lot of money, quite flashy, not necessarily the right pick for us.
Damn you.
Sorry.
Well, Sam will have her say on that, I'm sure, on Friday. She's already been on in the group chat on WhatsApp.
But seriously though, what do you think about everything we've just discussed though? Like, what's your honest opinion on everything we've?
Well, my worry is that he's overpriced for his output, and again, there's the risk of, could he do it in the Premier League? We took a chance on, everybody remembers when Muto came in. I don't think Muto was given a good enough shot. I really like Muto. But is the better out there?
It's a lot of question marks.
Yeah,
for the price tag, because it will be a price tag. If I want to pay that, I want to be a bit more sure of it.
By the way, Sam's just compared you to looking the spitting double of Rachel's son Aaron. So that's in the chat for you to have a look at after the show, Alex. I have to say, Sam's not far off. It's an interesting photo. Anyway, let's have a look what the viewers said then. Would you take Kubo? 70% said yes, Alex. 30%, well, 71 now. 29 said no. So 71% would take Kubo.
The thing is, all right. Let me tee this up. We've mentioned this a few times over the last year. We're in a position where we cannot get too many transfers wrong with our finances and the rules. If we've been quite fortunate that most of our big signings have been really good. Tonali, Isak, Botman, to a degree, has been injured quite a lot, but still Bruno, all of those big money signings have been really good for us. How are we going to feel if the next one or two don't land? If we fork out 50, 60 for a couple of players, it really doesn't work. We haven't got the revenue to make those mistakes in the transfer window. We're not like a Man United. We can't just sweep it under the rug and try again. It will have long-term consequences if we get too many transfers wrong. That's my only concern with Kubo, is I'm not sure.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Todd Bowley says you need to take risks sometimes. Yes, you do. But I think if we're looking at the right side, I think
risks all the time.
There's a lot of players out there for maybe. I mean, a lot of people are mentioning Mbeumo in the chat, Alex, and obviously he may cost a lot of money, but
he's much more of a sure thing.
Yeah,
Premier League proven. Physical. We've seen him against us countless times. It's much more of a sure thing. It's closer to a sure thing as you can get in scouting and football. But
you've got to think.
One thing that I haven't mentioned that a few people have, Fox has just put it in again.
The exposure.
I will reference it, is the exposure. Of course, shirt sales, all the attention it would get. It would help us grow, but it still needs to be the right fit.
Definitely. Right. Well, our final player of the evening. I'm not so sure myself. I haven't looked at this guy's stats, but I am interested to see, because last time he was in England, he was awful, simply awful. But we will have a look, and it is, ladies and gentlemen, Moise Kean, currently playing for Fiorentina.
He is indeed. So I would implore people to not vote in this next poll until you've heard a little bit, because a lot of people will remember he played at Everton. He came when he was like 19. He was crap. He's not as crap anymore. So hold the phone. Don't push the button yet. Let's have a little look.
I haven't got the poll up yet, so I'll wait till
give it 2 minutes, and then at least people can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
So just to completely put it out there, he scored 17 goals this season in Serie A,
which is XG, and anything that's above XG is he's having a good season.
Well, he's outperforming his XG, which is
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Is impressive, but often not sustainable. But it's still, he's either 15, 16 or 17. So it's fine. It's still really good. Even if he was only on 15 goals, I'd still be happy with that. And 3 assists. So that is 20 goal contributions in Serie A so far from 2,300 minutes, which I think is sensational. It's fantastic. 25-year-old striker. Much more of a lump than I thought he was going to be when he grew up. I thought he was going to be a bit more of a pacey. He's still fast, but he's a lump. And if I scroll down and just to show you a point, if you have a look at who he's linked to in terms of how he profiles in the data, you can see what I mean by he's a bit of a lump. You've got Šeško, Mateta, Evan Nilsson at Bournemouth, Haaland, Lewandowski, Vlahovic, even Strand Larsen at Wolves. They're all lumps. They're battering ram strikers. So he's developed into this kind of guy, and he's 25. The data is interesting because he's a battering ram striker. He doesn't look fantastic in some of these areas, but it's not necessarily his game. His game is, I'm going to get past you, and I'm going to have loads of shots, and I'm going to be a big lump and score goals. He's still got a lot of technical quality. He's still a reasonable dribbler. He's not as pacey as he was, I think, when he was a lot younger.
How old is he, Alex?
25.
25.
He's 25 now. So yeah, he's fully grown. He's a real boy.
Steve makes a point of saying was crap in a league where it's physical, then goes to a league with all the space in the world and does well. Says it all.
I think that's a massive oversimplification of his journey in football. I think that's a bit unfair on him, to be honest. Everton, if we go back and have a look at his Everton data, his main go at Everton was when he was 19 years old. 29 appearances, 6 starts, 2 goals and 2 assists. He was really young. It never quite worked. He went to PSG. To be fair to him, 13 really well. goals in 22 appearances. So he's done it not just in Italy. Came back to Everton and they wanted to get rid. They got rid. He went to Juventus. Struggled a little bit at Juventus for minutes. Only 12 starts, 11 starts, loads of appearances. So he was very much a part of the squad, but he was the bridesmaid, never the bride at that club. So he didn't really get the chance. 5 goals and six goals off of the minutes he had, especially coming on as a sub. It is what it is. Went to Fiorentina. He's had his chance to play first fiddle instead of second, and he spread his wings, done really well. 28 starts, 28 appearances. So he's
Alex,
the guy.
I'd just like to say, 17 goals this season, right? For a team that is 8th in Serie A, that's not bad going. That, given the
I think it's really impressive. It's really really a healthy return. And if you watch him play as well, it doesn't look like a flash in the pan. It does remind me a little bit of Lukaku before he went a bit too immobile, when he'd still got a bit about him when he was a bit younger. Maybe Chelsea Lukaku, not Man United Lukaku, if that makes any sense to people. When he'd still had a bit more oomph and pace. He definitely got vibes of that about him. If we go and have a look at his transfer market, the
poll is up as well, guys. Just to let you know, poll is up. Get voting. Would you take Moise Keane? Sorry, Alex, carry on, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's really physical, and I think he would fill a hole in our squad, which may appear in a Callum Wilson-sized hole, because this guy is a physical striker. He plays a very different game to Alexander Isak, in my opinion. They're still similar in the sense that they're reasonably good finishers, but this guy is much more of a lump than Isak is. Isak is all about, Isak is the ballet, whereas this guy is the battering ram. They do the same job, but they get it done in a very different way. Let's have a look at the World Soccer Agency, who is on this list.
I knew you were going to say that in an American accent because the word soccer was there. Well, they put
soccer. I mean, it's their own fault. Use a proper word.
They've got some talent.
No, we don't really know anybody on this list that we've dealt with. I mean, there is a chance that we've had a chat with them when we were interested in Calafiori, but I don't know if we were ever legitimately interested in Calafiori.
Yeah, we were linked in the press to Zappacosta as well. I remember doing him on the transfer show.
You've got Kostic is on there as well. I think we were linked with him 3 years ago as well. Vecino, when he was he at Milan? I think he was at Milan.
Edin Dzeko, might have been Edin Dzeko, Alex, still going.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Luis Muriel as well. We were linked with him once upon a time. Well, so I don't know if we've dealt with this particular agency, but his current market value is at 40, which is the highest it's been since he was a 19-year-old. To be fair, so he's doing well. Apparently, he can play across the front line. I personally think that's ridiculous. From having watched him, I think he can play out wide, but I'd rather he didn't. I'd rather utilize his skill set a little bit more efficiently. If anything, I think the roles are wrong. I think Ekitike would be more adept at playing out wide compared to this guy. But yeah, it is what it is. He's played a lot for Italy. 21 appearances, 7 goals. Not terrible for people saying, he's not done it. I mean, he's
especially in the Italian side that has, shall we say, been a little off form of late as well. Not really the force that there were. So to get 7 goals in 21 games.
There are a few injuries in there as well, to be fair. So to have had 17 goals and 27 starts, they can't have been
serious
bad.
Ones. Yeah.
Reasonable. I mean, we'll have a look on Transfermarkt in a sec what they were. High pressing, weakness, ball control. Yeah, he just seemed a bit pingy. A bit Joe Willocky sometimes, in that sometimes it's like he's got flubber on his boots, the outside of his boots, and it just kind of, not the best at ball control. I would agree with that. I think that's actually fair from SofaScore. And if we scroll down, he's got 22 goals in all competitions, So he scored 4 in the Conference League, 1 in the Coppa Italia as well. And let's go down and have a look. Oh, he's playing tomorrow. I don't know how the hell you say that. That's in the Conference League.
Scheller.
He's got an assist against Napoli in March. He scored against Panathinaikos in the Conference League. Of course, Panathinaikos quite a strong team. Deep runs in the Conference League in recent seasons, got all the way to a final. He's played for Italy. He scored 2 against the Germans, which we always like. So, again, people criticising, he can't be that bad. He's playing for his national team. He's scoring 2 against Germany. We have an Italian in our squad now, so he knows. They know the vibes. He scored against Atalanta. He scored against Milan. He's not doing bad at the moment. His March and April have been very kind to him, and of course he plays tomorrow. So he's on a really good run of form. That'll be doing a lot for his price, a lot for his attention. I think he's really good. I think a lot of the old cliches are a bit unfair. I think he's a good player. I'm not sure it's necessarily appropriate for us at our point in our journey, though. Again, it's like I said earlier. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've lost him now. Where is he? Moise Kean, as they call him on the commentary in Italy, which I don't know why they say it like that.
Well, if they say that, we'll probably say Mousy or something like that.
So it is 13 days.
What is lumbago, Alex?
I don't know. Anybody in the chat? What's that? What does that mean?
What on earth is lumbago? Is it something to do with your lumbar?
Is it to do with the lumbar spine? I mean, that's a fair shout. An educated guess would say maybe, but we could be wrong. We're guessing. Anybody with any slight medical experience, and we don't want jokey.
Julie Bell says it's back pain, apparently lumbago.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Ankle problems, 5 days. Rest. I wish I could call my boss up and say, Emil, I need some rest. Head injury, 9 days.
It's only really the shin injury, really 86 days in 23-24. I think it's he missed 14 games. He doesn't tend to miss a lot, does he? In fairness.
Yeah, he's been all right. I mean, shin injuries probably got absolutely kicked, which unless it's shin splints, if he's been kicked, and it's not his fault. I never like criticizing players too much if it's an injury they've sustained by being clattered, because you can't plan for that. That's not fair. If it's something that you've sustained because your body keeps breaking down, then that's more of an issue. But if it's Ben Arthur getting absolutely double leg broken, like the poor guy couldn't help that. It wasn't his fault. It's fine. It's my opinion. Injuries are fine. There's no bother there.
Apparently it's pronounced lumbago, Alex. Lumbago. People are shouting at me at the chat.
Fair enough.
Lumbago. Thank you, guys.
I don't know about this guy. I think I'm going to say exactly the same as I've said about Moise Kean. Kuba. I think this one is a lot more. This one carries a little bit more risk than Ekitike for me. I think Ekitike is just brilliant, and I trust it more. I'm not as sure about this one for the price you would have to pay, and I'm not sure there's a place in the squad for him at the moment. Obviously, Callum going. I don't think Moise Kean would be able to compete with Isak, although he offers us a very different kind of striker. Again, I know we're looking at attackers tonight, but the priority is, of course, a right winger, a centre half. Yeah, it's a weird one. What does the poll say?
The poll, Alex, says 64% say no to 36 yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to have the conversation, but it's not somebody I would probably sign.
Interesting.
He's worthy of being on the list and having a talk, though, and clubs will be looking at him. There's no doubt.
Well, listen, the 3 players that we've highlighted tonight, I have no doubt that they will be linked with a lot of clubs in the summer, but we are going to be in there. We are going to be competing for these players. Whether they sign or not, who the hell knows? But obviously, tonight we've took a deep dive into them. We've had a look at 3 possibilities that have been linked, and you never know. We are going to be competing for players in the transfer window when it opens up in the summer, hopefully as a Champions League outfit as well. So that will really boost our opportunities.
That makes these a lot more possible.
Absolutely,
if we are in the Champions League.
So, and that's in our own hands right now. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. It's been really interesting looking at these players. I know you do enjoy the transfer shows, guys, so thank you very much. Give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And, of course, if you are new and you like what you see, please do subscribe, whether you're watching now or you're watching on a rerun. It is very, very important to us to keep those subscribers coming in. It's free to do so. Just hit that button, guys. Thank you to Mamaroo Records for sponsoring the channel, of course. Their website is pinned at the top of the description if you want to go and have a look at that. And thank you for your super chats, memberships, mods. You've been a dream again. Thank you very much. And thank you to Alex for putting all that together tonight to look at those players. It's been a great show. Next live one, as we stand, will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock when we have the Newcastle United versus Manchester United preview. I expect Alex to say lots of kind things about the red side of Manchester tomorrow, because we know how strongly he loves Manchester United. So that's
it's a good evening tomorrow, because you can watch our preview show at 7 o'clock and then go watch Ekitike play against Spurs for Frankfurt at 8 o'clock. So it's a good football evening.
Certainly is. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. In the meantime, good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out